Fernando, what are you doing here? Why didn't you go to the English class today?
Hello, teacher. I'm really sorry. I didn't feel like going to class today.
Okay, but what happened? Couldn't you make it on time, or what?
No, teacher. I had arrived on time, but I just stopped to think about some things.
Can I know what those things are? Maybe I can help you.
I don't think you can help me. I mean, you're an excellent teacher, but this is something. Well, I was going to English classes as usual, but then I asked myself, what are you doing? You know, I'm about to be 60 years old, and I'm trying to learn a new language. I know you also think it's impossible for an old man like me to learn a new language, right?
Oh, then that's the problem I see.
Sure, it's not like I'm waiting for someone.
So you think you're too old to learn English? I'm going to tell you some things. You're never too old to learn something new, and that includes, of course, a new language.
I knew you were going to say something like that, but the truth is different. I know that.
Look, it is quite common for me to hear comments such as, "It's more difficult because I'm older," or "I am too old to learn English." However, this is not actually true. I will explain it to you. It has been scientifically proven that you're never too old to learn a language or pick up any other new skill. Your body might not have the same agility or flexibility to do a sport, for example, but your brain can definitely be stretched and challenged to create new neurological connections, which can make you an effective learner. People have a wrong idea about learning English. Learning English is not about learning something totally new. That's not correct. Learning a language means linking your pre-existing knowledge of the world to the new input that you receive. Specifically, for this reason, adults can be better, or at least more efficient learners than children. Your many years of schooling and life experience make you receptive and allow you to better understand the intricacies of a language, as well as the strategies to apply when analyzing and memorizing new concepts. You see?
Then why do older students think that age is so crucial to their ability to learn English?
There are three common factors that students often confuse with age: risk-taking, time, and repetition. We improve by trying to communicate and be understood, and this means taking risks and making mistakes.
I see what you mean. I guess as an older learner, I'm sometimes afraid of making mistakes, and I tend to be more cautious.
Adult learners are typically less happy to do this than younger students, so it is easy to think age is the barrier to the learning process and use it as a reason to justify not taking risks. Typically, adults also underestimate how much time it can take. Children often find that repetition is comforting and reassures them of what they're producing, whereas adults can find this process quite boring or frustrating, which means they are less likely to repeat new language in the same way. However, repetition of expressions in meaningful encounters, such as seeing, hearing, or using the word in a memorable situation, is key to learning. Believe me, research suggests this needs to be done at least 7 times before we can say we actually know the new word or sentence. That's the best way of memorizing new words. Now is also a good moment to consider what it means to be a good language user. Often, students have a very narrow definition, for example, not making grammar mistakes or knowing a lot of vocabulary. While this can be important, most of the time what we need is to be effective communicators, and that means knowing how to build relationships, express yourself, and interact. Essentially, social and intercultural skills can be as important as language knowledge, which is why we spend time focusing on this in our English videos, for example. These are also elements that are often easier for more mature people to understand than for children.
Is that true? I mean, I get what you're saying, and it makes sense, but I don't know. Sometimes it's difficult for me to memorize a new word. I repeat it over and over again, and nothing.
And what does knowing a word actually mean? It's not only a matter of recalling it at the right time or being able to use it in the right position in a sentence, for example. It's also about knowing its pronunciation, its spelling, and what words best go with it. For example, we say blonde hair, not yellow hair, right? Words can also have different meanings. Bank is a financial institution on the side of a river, or variations depending on if it's a noun, singular or plural, with or without an article, or if it's a verb or an adjective. Another example is photograph, photographer, photography, photographic, etc. There are also other considerations, for example, if there are words with similar or opposite meanings, if there are differences in register, maybe it's formal or informal, polite or not polite, or if there are other words that have the same sound but a different spelling, like hair and hair. What I mean is all of these elements require you to make links and connections in your brain, which can become a conscious activity for mature adults, and as a consequence, it becomes easier for them to learn a new word because you can think clearly about more things. You can interact with more people, you have more things to relate to that new word. Learning English as an adult has a lot of advantages, that's for sure. That myth that says children learn English faster or better than adults is not true.
I think you're right, teacher. Plus, I got the highest score on the last exam.
Exactly. You're doing great on your process of learning English.
Thank you, teacher. Your words are really encouraging. I guess sometimes I just need that extra boost of confidence. But I still struggle with speaking fluently. I often find myself searching for the right words during a conversation.
That's completely normal, Fernando. Speaking fluently in a new language can be challenging, but it's a gradual process. The more you practice and engage in conversations, the more fluent you'll become. You've already made great progress, and it's essential to keep pushing your boundaries. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, they are stepping stones to improvement.
I appreciate your support, teacher. I'll try to speak more and take more risks in our English classes. But sometimes, I feel like I have a mental block when trying to remember the words I've learned.
It's common to experience moments of forgetfulness when learning a new language. One effective technique is to create associations with the words you're learning. Try to connect them to images, stories, or even familiar words in your native language. It helps your brain recall them more easily. Additionally, using flashcards, writing sentences with the new words, or engaging in conversations that incorporate those words can reinforce your memory.
Those are excellent tips, teacher. I'll definitely give them a try. Speaking of which, I've been watching English TV shows to improve my listening skills. Do you think that's helping?
Watching English TV shows is a fantastic way to enhance your listening skills. It exposes you to various accents, vocabulary, and conversational styles. To make it even more effective, try watching with English subtitles and then without them to challenge yourself. It can be a fun and engaging way to improve your understanding of spoken English.
That's a great suggestion, teacher. I'll follow your advice. Also, sometimes I struggle with the different tenses in English. They can be quite confusing.
Tenses can indeed be challenging, but they're a crucial part of English grammar. To master them, I recommend studying one tense at a time. Focus on understanding when and how each tense is used. It might be helpful to create a cheat sheet or reference guide to consult when you're unsure. Practicing with exercises and incorporating the tenses into your conversations will help solidify your grasp of them.
I'll definitely work on that. Thanks for the guidance, teacher. Your patience and expertise make a significant difference in my learning journey.
You're very welcome, Fernando. I'm here to support you in every step of your English learning adventure. Remember, learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep setting achievable goals, stay motivated, and never doubt your ability to improve. You're doing remarkably well, and I'm proud of your dedication.
Thank you for your kind words, teacher. I feel more motivated than ever to continue learning and improving my English. I feel much better now, and I'm sorry for not going to your classes.
That's okay. Don't worry. All I want is for you to learn and improve your English, and if you have any questions, you know you can always count on me, Fernando.
Yes, teacher. I know that now. Thank you so much for your help.